Japan has been widely reported as home to more than 95,000 people over the age of 100. That number is impressive, but the real question is not just how long they live. What caught my attention was not the number alone, but the way movement still appears in ordinary Japanese life. The question is this: what are many Japanese elders still doing with their bodies every day that many of us slowly stop doing after 50? It is not one magic food. It is not one supplement. It is not perfect genetics. Longevity is never that simple. But when you look closely at Japanese daily life, one thing becomes hard to ignore. Movement is not always treated like a workout. It is woven into ordinary living. The way people sit, stand, bow, shift weight, breathe, and hold simple postures keeps asking the body to remember balance, leg strength, posture, and control. Then you look at how aging often feels for many adults in America, and the contrast becomes hard to miss. A chair starts feeling lower, a step feels less certain, your posture feels shorter by evening. The body still moves, but it begins asking for more caution, and that little hesitation can be unsettling, because it makes you wonder if this is simply what getting older is supposed to feel like. I do not believe it has to be that simple. Sometimes the body is not failing, sometimes it is just missing the small movements it used to practice without thinking. Welcome to MyoSci Lab. This video is for education only and is not medical advice. Move slowly, stop if anything feels painful or unsafe, and check with your doctor if you have a medical condition. Today, we are going to explore 6 Japanese-inspired movements, step by step. No gym, no machines, no intense workout. Just gentle movements you can adapt to your own level, right in your living room, to support steadier balance, taller posture, stronger legs, and more confidence in daily life. If you want simple routines that help you move better and stay independent after 50, subscribe to the channel and stay with me. I like to think of these 6 movements as a simple movement map: foundation, foot trust, posture, breathing, side stability, and progress. So let's begin where many Japanese movement traditions begin, with the ground beneath you. The first movement is called Shiko Dachi, often known as the Sumo Stance. I think of it as the foundation stance. For centuries, this wide, grounded position has been used in Japanese martial and athletic training. But you do not need to be a wrestler to understand why it matters. After 50 or 60, you are training for something much more ordinary and much more important: getting out of a chair, climbing stairs, stepping down with control, and feeling that your legs still know how to hold you. Stand with your feet wider than shoulder width apart. Turn your toes slightly outward, only as far as feels natural. Keep your chest open, your spine tall, and your knees soft. Now, lower your hips just a little, as if you are sitting between your legs, not dropping backward. You do not need to go deep. The goal is not to prove how low you can go. The goal is to feel steady, supported, and in control. Place your hands on your thighs or hold the back of a sturdy chair if that helps you feel safer. Start with 15 to 30 seconds. You should feel this in your thighs, glutes, and inner hips. These are your independence muscles. They help you rise from a chair, steady yourself on stairs, and keep your body from feeling fragile when your weight shifts. If your knees collapse inward, make the stance smaller. If you feel sharp knee pain, stop and reset. A smaller, safer stance done well is far more useful than a deep stance done with fear. Once your base begins to wake up, the next movement asks a different question. Can your body trust the ground before it steps? This is where Neko Ashidachi, the cat stance, comes in. I think of it as the foot trust drill. In karate, this posture carries the feeling of a cat touching the ground lightly before committing its weight. And that image is perfect for aging balance, because real balance is not just standing still. Real balance happens when one foot is about to move. Stand beside a wall or chair. Keep most of your weight on the back leg, with the back foot fully planted and the back knee softly bent. Place the other foot only a small step forward. Lift the front heel and let only the ball of the front foot and the toes lightly touch the floor, almost weightless. Slowly shift just a little weight forward, then back again, as if your foot is testing the ground. Do 8 to 10 slow shifts on each side. You may feel your ankle, arch, outer hip, and core begin to work. This is the kind of control you need when stepping over a rug, walking on grass, or placing your foot on a curb that is not as even as you expected. Keep it small, keep it quiet. You are not performing a pose. You are teaching your body to listen before it moves. After your feet have practiced listening to the ground, the next lesson from Japanese movement culture is not about standing stronger. It is about sitting without collapsing. The third movement is Seiza, often translated as proper sitting. I think of it as the posture reset. In Japan, Seiza appears in tea ceremonies, martial arts, formal gatherings, and daily tradition. But here is the important part. This is not about proving flexibility. It is about reminding the body how to hold posture from the ground up. The traditional version starts on a soft mat. You kneel down, bring the knees close, fold the feet underneath, and slowly sit back toward the heels while keeping the spine tall. But if your knees, ankles, or hips do not like that position, do not force it. That is not failure. That is your body giving you information. Place a firm cushion, yoga block, or folded blanket between your hips and heels. If the floor still feels like too much, use a chair. Sit near the front edge, feet flat, knees aligned, spine lifted, shoulders relaxed. Start with 20 to 30 seconds. You may feel a gentle stretch through the thighs or the front of the hips. You should not feel sharp knee pain. What I love about Seiza is that it reveals something many people miss. We sit all day, but not always in a way that keeps the body awake. Modern sitting often lets the core go quiet, the hips tighten, and the upper back round forward. Seiza, even in a chair version, asks the body to sit with awareness again. And once the body is upright, the next practice becomes even quieter. Zazen, the seated meditation posture from Zen tradition, is what I think of as the breath and spine practice. It is a way of letting posture and breathing meet in the same place. Sit on a cushion if that feels comfortable, or stay in a chair. Let the spine rise naturally. Soften the shoulders. Tuck the chin slightly. Rest the hands wherever they feel easy. Then, breathe slowly without forcing anything. After 50 or 60, this kind of quiet control matters more than it looks. When posture collapses, breathing often becomes shallow. When breathing becomes shallow, the body can feel more tense, less steady, and less confident before movement even begins. Zazen is not a cure or a miracle. It is a small practice of returning to yourself, tall spine, calmer breath, steady attention. And when the body learns to sit with that kind of calm control, it often stands and moves with a little more trust. After the body has practiced sitting tall and breathing with control, it is time to bring that quiet strength back into the legs. The fifth movement is Kiba Dachi, often called the horse stance. I think of it as the side stability stance. It feels like an old Japanese martial arts posture, wide, grounded, steady, and calm. But you are not training for combat. You are training to stay stable when life pulls you slightly off center. Stand with your feet wider than shoulder width apart. The most important detail is this: both feet stay completely parallel and your toes point straight forward. Do not turn the toes outward. That belongs more to Shiko Dachi, the Sumo Stance. In Kiba Dachi, the feet stay straight, the knees bend forward, and the body learns to hold itself evenly from side to side. Bend your knees softly, lift your chest, and keep your spine tall. Imagine sitting slightly onto an invisible horse saddle, but only a little. This is not about dropping low. It is about feeling the legs hold the body steady. Rest your hands on your thighs or hold a sturdy chair or countertop if that helps you feel safer. Start with 15 to 20 seconds and breathe steadily. You should feel your thighs, glutes, inner hips, and the small stabilizers along the sides of the hips working. Those side muscles matter because not every stumble happens forward. Sometimes the body wobbles sideways. Sometimes one hip drops. Sometimes the knee drifts inward before you notice it. Kiba Dachi teaches the lower body to stay wide, awake, and organized. Now we bring the whole sequence together with the final movement, the wall squat, or the invisible chair. I think of it as the progress check. By now, your base, balance, posture, breath, and side stability have all been touched. The wall squat gives them one simple place to meet. Stand with your back against a wall, feet slightly forward, about hip-width apart. Slowly slide down only as far as feels comfortable. You do not need a deep 90-degree hold. Keep the knees aligned over the feet, let the wall support your posture, and breathe slowly. Start with 20 to 30 seconds. If that is too much, stay higher. If your knees hurt, come up and reset. You should feel the thighs, glutes, and a little core engagement, not sharp pain. Think of this as your simple progress check. The point is not to suffer through it. The point is to teach your body that strength can be quiet, supported, and useful. If you have made it this far, you do not just have 6 movements. You have a small, daily system, and that is where the real value begins. The lesson from Japanese movement culture is not that you need to train harder. It is that the body often responds to what we repeat with patience. You do not need to do all 6 movements for a long time. Start with 5 quiet minutes. In the morning, sit tall for 30 seconds in a chair version of Seiza. Then spend 1 minute in Zazen, breathing, letting your shoulders soften and your spine rise. After that, stand beside a wall or chair and practice Neko Ashidachi for 30 seconds on each side, letting your feet gently wake up before the day begins. In the evening, come back to the legs. Hold Shiko Dachi for 30 seconds, then Kiba Dachi for another 30 seconds, staying higher if you need to. Finish with 1 to 2 minutes of a gentle wall squat or wall posture hold, not deep, not forced. Just steady enough that your body feels supported and aware. And if even that feels like too much, choose one movement. One movement is enough to begin. That is the spirit of Kaizen. Small, steady improvement, repeated before it looks impressive. You are not trying to become someone else overnight. You are simply giving your body a reason to remember strength, balance, posture, and control. The real goal is not to copy Japanese culture perfectly. The goal is to move through your own life with more trust. Standing from a chair, stepping down from a curb, walking through your home, and feeling less need to reach for support. If this helps you, comment on your first name, your age, where you are watching from, and which movement you want to start with. And subscribe for more simple routines that help you stay strong, steady, and independent after 50.